on this episode of
How It Happened in the Comic.
Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. In this video, let's look at a fan favorite character who's had one of the most unique journeys across the Walking Dead universe, Morgan Jones. He's a fan favorite in the TV show and the comic. While he's still alive in the TV series and even went over and starred in Fear the Walking Dead spinoff, Morgan's fate in the comic is very different and very tragic. Let's dive into how it all went down. So in the TV universe, Morgan first appears in Season 1, Episode 1, helping Rick Grimes understand the new world he's woken up to. After that, Morgan's arc takes him through deep grief, mental breakdowns, pacifism, and ultimately just survival, but he weaves in and out of the main show there for a little while, eventually becomes a central figure in Fear the Walking Dead, and as of now, Morgan is still alive. He's obtained an adopted daughter at this point, having left Fear the Walking Dead in its final season, looking for Rick, supposedly. We'll see if there is a reunion. We all want that, of course. His journey was about healing and rediscovery, I guess you could say. He refused to give in to the madness, ultimately, of the apocalypse, I guess. But you know that thing with him and Madison where they collected kids and stuff? I don't know. That's iffy. But the comic version of Morgan's story in the comic is much shorter. It ends in tragedy. He reappears after the fall of the prison, just like he does in the TV show. He reconnects with Rick and the group at the Alexandria safe zone right around when Pete's killed. So the TV show and the comic does mirror each other, even though the story plays out a little bit differently. He's still grieving his son Dwayne, and he tries to find a new purpose and all this. He struggles with emotional scars of the past, just like he does in the TV show. But in the comic, there's a group called the Scavengers, and it's not the garbage people. It's a different group. It's only about 6 or so guys and a girl, a woman, and pretty crazy because they just kind of walk up to the gates of Alexandria and say, "Let us in," and boom, 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 and pretty much all the scavengers die. But because of that, a big horde of walkers come and kind of overrun Alexandria, and Morgan is bitten by a walker on his arm. Knowing what this means, Rick and the others try to help. Michonne cuts his arm off with her katana, one whack. And Michonne and Morgan had actually been in a relationship at this point in the comic. But Morgan, though, he's not in a good condition, and he pretty much goes down. Carl was left there to watch after him, and in case he reanimates, Carl was going to put him down, I guess. But they have a conversation, which is pretty good in the comic. But it was issue 83 that Morgan dies from blood loss and the trauma of the infection, I guess. So we lost Morgan, and it wasn't flamboyant. It was just, hey, it happens. People get bitten. Kind of like Carl in the TV show, even though Carl shouldn't have died in the TV show. Sometimes people just get bitten and they die. It happens, and they don't go out in some crazy way or heroic way, even though Morgan was helping defend Alexandria against the horde of walkers. But it was a somber, quiet end for a character who had already lost everything. His death hit pretty hard, especially for Rick, because in the comic, Morgan's story is about loss and the failed attempt to find peace. He never really fully recovered, so his death is more of a tragedy than a triumph. But of course, in the show, Morgan's arc is extended, so it's different, of course, and he's given room to grow and reflect and try to live by a code and try to help people and just all kinds of different things, build little communities and friends and stuff. So I know that some fans argue that the TV version went too far with Morgan's pacifism arc. Others love that he survived and evolved and became one of the most developed characters in the universe. I think they did go back and forth too much a little bit with him. But I think if you start really getting into mental illness and trauma and PTSD and all those kinds of things, if you really start looking at that and studying that, it's, I didn't think it was as real myself at one point in my life. Like, oh, he's just kind of playing, or making that up or acting, in some cases or something. But it's all real mental illness and all of that. So Morgan, it definitely could play out like that for someone, especially in an apocalypse. So that's how Morgan Jones died in the Walking Dead comics, a quiet but emotional exit for a character who helped launch Rick's journey in both the comic and the show. But which version do you prefer? The comic version? Do you think that it would have been better if he died in the show? maybe didn't cross over. A lot of things. There's a lot of stuff about the Fear the Walking Dead thing. Yeah, I mean, don't even get me started, really. But you can, I guess, down in the comments, because I want to hear what you think, of course. Let me know down in the comments below, and I'll join you there. This is James, and as always, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more dead stuff.